All right, I now call the October 15th, 2015 meeting of the Madison County Board of Adjustment to order. Someone want to call the roll?
Here. George Dillon,
Here.
Howard Bowden,
Here.
Wayne Pinkowski,
Here.
Jimmy Rogers,
Here.
Paul Mealy.
Absent. Okay, I guess our first order of business would be to look at the meeting, or the minutes from the last meeting, which is July 9th, 2015. Read through them. I didn't see any issues with them unless somebody else did. Best I recall, those seem accurate. So, if anybody didn't have any questions or comments or changes, I'll open the floor for a motion for approval.
I move we accept the minutes.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Call the roll.
Wayne Pinkowski,
Yes.
Howard Bowden,
Yes.
Jimmy Rogers,
Yes.
George Dillon.
Yes. All right, we have two items on the agenda tonight, and I'm gonna change the order of them just a little bit to expedite. Our first one's gonna be 1435 Union City Road, Edwin Lamb. Are you here?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then
We're just kind of staying at the.
our second one's gonna be 757 Kirksville Road, and Daniel and Sarah Well, are they here? All right. Mr. Lamb, do you, we'll hear you first. Do you agree to give accurate and truthful information as it pertains to your case?
Yes.
All right, continue with your variance request.
I was asking, oh, got the
We don't have a
paper.
podium either. That's interesting. I never thought.
Yeah, well, we're, not yet.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even pay attention to it gone. It's gonna be over here.
I think I need 6 feet. I asked for 8 or 10 just to be safe. Cause I wanted to make
Can I
sure
give
the
you a little
gutter,
background on this one?
Go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt
No,
you,
you're
I might be
fine.
able to expedite it along a little bit. Mr. Lamb is remodeling it. Have y'all been out there to look at it?
Yes.
Remodeling, how old is that house, do you know?
it was built 1935, but it was rebuilt, it burnt 1929, 1930. I think it was finished in 1935.
He's adding on to the rear of the house about 12
Had
feet,
12 feet
and adding on to the front of the house with
porch.
a block concrete stoop with a roof over it. It's not a room, it's just the roof over a concrete patio. So, if you've been out there, you've seen probably that the foundation's already laid. I don't want you all to hold that against Mr. Lamb because there was a little bit of confusion in his permitting process. In his drawing, his plans showed an addition, but we got it turned around and it didn't show the addition on the back was included in the main drawing. So when we went to do the inspections, we looked at the addition on the back and assumed that that was the scope of the work. Then when we went back at a later point to do another inspection, noticed that he had also done the porch on the addition. At that point, when we stopped him and said, hey, we need to make sure you're not too close to the road. Ended up he was about 6 feet too close to the road. It's a 125-foot setback down there. So he's asked just to give him a little room for an overhang, gutters, whatever the case might be. He's asked for 10 feet, which, so instead of being at 125 feet, he'll be at 115. So it's a 10-foot variance to the 125-foot setback. That's why I asked if y'all been down there, because you might have seen he'd already done it. And sometimes when somebody does something and then comes in and asks for permission to do it, that's kind of the reverse way to do it. But I just wanted y'all to know that wasn't completely his fault. There was a little bit of blame to go around on that one. That's it in a nutshell, right? Yeah, you're just doing the stoop with the roof over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a previous porch there, but it was smaller. It was just, so we just made it larger. And it's not the whole porch that interferes, it's just that one corner. The way the house sets at an angle, it
Yeah, if you can
hits
see
out
it.
of it.
Chris, can we zoom in on 1435 there just a little bit?
So he's already at the 125 feet then?
For part of the house, he is.
Okay.
The existing house is, and part of the addition that he's wanting to put on is gonna be, but can you see how the road angles there away from the house? So even part of the addition is still gonna be, but one corner of it is gonna be a little too close, by about 6 feet.
That picture was taken in February this year.
And that's measuring with the tape rolling on the ground too. That's not a surveyor's transit that's gone out there and measured that either. So it might be just a foot or two more than that, or a foot or two less than that even. So
why I
that's
asked
why,
for
for the cushion, he asked for the 10 feet, but In reality, it may not even be that far.
And it's just for an open and unclosed front porch?
That's right. That's right.
So, anybody have any questions, comments about that? If not, I'll open the floor for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve a 10-foot variance to the existing 125-foot setback for the property at 1435 Union City Road.
Do I hear a second?
I second
All right, call the roll.
Jimmy Rogers,
it. Yes.
Howard Bowden,
Yes.
Wayne Pinkowski.
Yes.
George Dillon.
Yes. All right, Mr. Lim, you have your variance,
I appreciate it.
so,
Tell your father he can go back to work.
so, our, second item on the agenda is a conditional use permit for 757 Kirksville Road. Mr. Wells, you want to come to the, what would have been a podium? Huh? No. You can
Here we got Mr.
state your
Wells.
name and address for me, please.
My current address or the property address?
Your current, your property address.
Oh, it's Daniel Wells, 757 Kirksville Road, Richmond.
All right, Mr. Wells, do you agree to give truthful and accurate information as it pertains to this case?
Yes, sir.
All right, continue with what you're wanting to do.
We're seeking to use their farm property for, to have events out there as far as weddings. We attend Southland Christian Church in Lexington, and I think it'd be nice to let people come down and have barn weddings in the barn. And we're gonna be living above the barn, so it's actually got a living space above it, so. And then also to, potentially use it as like like an orchard or something like that, let people come on the site and give hay rides and, similar to what the, forget the pumpkin people's name, Baldwin, yeah, they have an excellent place up there. I think people in this town need more stuff like that.
Whereabouts are you gonna put the barn?
It is, if you're,
I'm like you, I can't see that one back there very good. Is it just
well,
me?
I mean, if I had a stick, I could point at it, but,
Come up
it's,
here and look.
You want past the pond and it
That's
goes
all right.
around, circles around and goes up.
that's all.
It's just
Yeah,
a
come on
little
back.
gravel road.
Yeah.
Is it at the end of the gravel?
Right here.
Yeah, in the gravel.
Right now, I have a gravel road that comes right here and comes all the way
Like
back to
that.
there, so we're
It's way back there.
1,100 feet off the front there, and, I mean, wow, a bunch of these trailers are abandoned, 2 of them are, so that's where we would be.
Yeah. So you're really talking about building a house?
Correct, we've discussed, he's got architectural drawings showing the house and with all the, treating the underneath as a garage in our world, as far as the building world.
Right.
So
So-
that
so
he
basically-
understands all that he has to construct it in that manner. There's no other structures on it.
Have any of the neighbors said anything? People who do live there? You know?
I've talked to them, well, I mean, several of them, and they're totally cool with it. I have not talked to all of them.
Have they all been contacted and given?
Yes, they have.
They haven't received any negative?
Haven't reserved anything negative.
I got, no, nothing negative. I got one call today, somebody just asking the question, what was going on. Somebody heard there was gonna be a mobile home park going in down there.
That was the
And
first-
had the whole, apparently, that was the topic of conversation at the Round Hill store for breakfast and lunch the last few days.
How's it really?
And I said, please tell them when you go, this was before lunch today, I said, please tell them when you go down there today that that's not what's gonna happen, cause I know it'll spread like wildfire down there, if you tell them.
Everybody in the area asked me 2 questions when I bought the farm. One, was I gonna turn it into a mobile home park? And 2, where I went to church. Cause I get invited to every church in the county, so that's.
One of the concerns I would have with something of this nature out there would be, when you do have an event, and they just had that thing down there at Talon Winery where they had much larger scope of problems. But
Yeah.
if we have 200 or 300 people coming out to an event at this place, we're gonna be able to handle it on the roads and traffic and parking and
It's
and
a-
all
That's
that
a
kind of
concern
stuff?
that I was questioning all that.
Yeah, it's a state road. I mean, so we're not, 595's,
And then, so how often do you plan on having events? I mean, I
Um,
guess it'd mainly be on weekends, or?
yeah, I mean, it's, Friday, Saturday night, that kind of stuff.
You stated that you're gonna have a maximum of 200 people.
That's the building won't handle much more than that. A lot of people, like to have the wedding out in the field and then have the reception inside or, something like that. But the building's not set to handle more than that for sure.
And the property currently only has one entrance and exit That's a concern just from a safety standpoint. You know, if that entrance gets blocked for any reason, can a fire truck get in there, can an ambulance get in there? Have you looked at possibly putting in a second entrance in that property?
Actually, I do have road frontage on Curtis Pike, and
Okay.
you can, I mean, there's a little creek that runs across there, but I do have enough to make a official, I think it's like 75 feet.
He's got some road frontage right
Yeah,
here, right?
exactly, right there, so
It
you,
doesn't show it on this plat, but there is a little sliver.
you, you,
right
you,
there.
you could drive through there if you needed to.
So that first lot is what you actually own, that lot's what you own up there then,
No, sir, there's a little
Where's-
sliver right here.
or right in here,
Yeah, in between, there's a
there's
little.
2 lots.
Yes, sir, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
That's one here, and then somebody else owns this one here on the corner.
Right.
But yeah, I own a sliver, it's like a pie shape kinda right in through there,
Okay,
so,
all
yeah.
right.
I
Yes.
think Georgia helps your concern a little bit, at least with traffic.
We got
You've got another way out, you've got a,
Yeah,
so forth.
Now, the neighbors were apprised of what it is that you plan to do? I mean, did they get something like we have here, where you've listed, the different types of activities you expect, and, the fact that you might have a band and music there at times? Now, the neighbors, joining property owners will all realize that that's what that is?
I've
Is that what
spoke,
was-
I did not see the letter
Our,
that got
our
sent.
only requirement is that we notify them of a public hearing for a conditional use permit.
We
And
don't tell
Marty's,
them what the condition, what,
Marty's looking right now to see how detailed that letter was. I don't know if all that was included in it or not, but there, like I said, there's been a sign up on the property for a couple weeks, a week before the first scheduled meeting, and then it's been up for a week now.
well, yeah,
We
but
sent letters to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different people.
but my concern is, do they know what his plans are? It's more than just building a barn.
Clearly not, if some people are calling thinking he's putting a mobile home park in. Some don't, no.
She was well aware.
But again, there's no requirement that we advise them of, that's what the public hearing is for. If they have any questions, the phone number's on there, they can call, they can come to the public hearing and see what it is. And
If I can say.
nobody's taking that
Got a full house.
opportunity. Yeah.
I have spoken with, I mean, I could point it, I mean, I can name the neighbors by name down through there. Like I say, 2 of those are abandoned trailers, there's nobody that even lives there. I mean, Tim Ray in the upper right-hand corner, he's totally cool with it. The old lady lives beside him, she told me I could put a driveway through her place if I needed to, she's super nice. And Joey and Troy Turner down there on the corner, they know what we're doing. And
Probably worth pointing out that this piece of property right here too, that's a pretty good sized church.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they have weddings there from time to time.
Yeah,
So
the-
if your concerns
Ricky
about the
Horns-
traffic, you know, they've got one entrance, you can see right here, that's all they've got.
I mean,
My concern would be more with the noise. I mean, I live far, far away from a bar that's down along the Kentucky River, and I get serenaded at night, on Friday
Well-
nights during the summer. And if the neighbors aren't aware of the fact that you are gonna have music there might have been more, folks coming here.
Marty and I
question.
drove out there, and actually went back, I'm guessing, where's that road end right now? Is it end right about in here somewhere maybe?
yes, sir. a
We
little
drove
bit
to the end of your
closer.
road, when you're back in there, you're pretty secluded,
Been a
I
long
mean,
ways back there.
Yeah,
it is
we're-
pretty far back in there, and you really can't, if you were on the outside looking in, I don't know that you could see now, the noise
No.
certainly,
You
but
can-
it-
I'm
If
sure
you
you
leave
hear
those
it.
trees alone,
Yeah.
that'll take care of your, a lot of your noise problem.
Actually, we're gonna be planting trees. I'm going down to
Plant trees.
London
That'll get down.
next weekend, and we're putting trees all along that, in between us and those houses, for the sole reason, I mean, we don't want people's pictures and noise, I mean, that was something we
Noise is a
thought
big
of.
factor there.
And we're
That'll
gonna
take care
put
of
those tall, green giant trees. They go up 40 feet, they're 8 foot
Yeah.
wide, and we're gonna put them right down through there. But the other thing is, we are gonna live at this property. I have 2 small children. My son's 11 months old, my daughter's 3 years old. There ain't gonna be no loud bands, no crazy music. I mean, if, it just ain't gonna happen like that. It might happen once, but it won't happen again. Cause we will be on site all times, so I would try to be as respectful as,
What would you anticipate being your hours? I mean, are you gonna be doing something out there at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, or you said the reception would be somewhere else if they just had a wedding?
no, I mean,
there?
the reception, most people have in the barn if they don't have the wedding in the barn. I mean, no weddings go past midnight. I mean, that's, you know, pretty much every venue around here kicks people out by then. You know, reasonable hours are, you know, people come in early, you know, noon or something to, you know, they could definitely stay there as late as 10, maybe even 11 o'clock, but
You talked in your application about lighting. What type of lighting are you considering for the facility?
interior, exterior.
Exterior?
Just, you know, pole lights, stuff like that around the building, so.
Shielded?
I hadn't thought that far, honestly, but I mean, the globe lamps that they have that, I don't know if I can.
I'm just thinking about glare. Again, you know, you've got a row of houses there. It's fairly dark in that area right now.
Yeah,
With their view, shielded lighting would be something that would, for
Right.
some folks, would be important.
and we're,
probably.
yeah, that's why we're gonna put those trees in, to just completely, and they're 40 feet tall, and, I mean, they're thick. That's what they're privacy trees. So,
After how many years?
they grow fast. They grow about 4 feet a year. So
That's
we're
10
gonna
years.
get them at.
So you're not gonna have the screen up until 10 years from
Well,
now?
it's already screened to some extent, he's planning that too now.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
Let me ask you this, I don't know, I have a concern about the number of people and that going on as much as what it is for that, you know, you're at a residential property and, I mean, that's a legitimate concern about the lighting and the noise and so forth, for sure, but, I don't know. Would the fire marshal dictate how many people you can have in the building?
Yes.
In a residential house like that? I'm trying to, you know, if it's a residence, he wouldn't have anything to do with it. It's not like it's a mixed-use building or something like
It's a
that.
barn.
It's a barn. He's not gonna,
Apartment or a house.
you know, so they're not gonna dictate anything. I'm just trying to think, I mean, you'd have,
Well, at some point you have to, the draw of his business or the lure of doing this is that you're out on a farm, you're out in nature, you're out, and if you sanitize it too much or break it down too much and start talking about parking lots and lighting and landscape buffers, that you lose the draw that makes people want to get married in a barn or married on a farm out in the country.
how big of a barn are we talking about?
48 feet wide by 56 feet long.
Okay.
And honestly, 12 feet by 12 feet by 56 of that is actually outside. So the interior space is only 32 by 56. So it's not that big.
That's not that big.
No, I mean, I can't afford anything bigger. So, I mean, and 200 people is probably a pretty far stretch. I just put that down
That's probably a whole
because
lot of people for that size.
I honestly have no idea. I spoke with a friend of mine. She's a wedding planner at a pretty big event place in Lexington. They do, I mean, $40,000-$50,000 weddings. Their average size is, you know, 100 to 150 people. So I put 200 just
Yeah, that'd be.
to go crazy. But I mean, you know, realistically, most, you know, weddings are 75 to, you know, 150 max. So, you know, I honestly, I thought the fire marshal would dictate the number of people, so that would kind of limit me, but,
Not in this case, that was residential.
that's,
I was kinda wondering myself.
there's already another place that's doing this here in Richmond.
One out of Berea, there, it's called the Barn.
Yes, sir, there's one in Berea doing it too, yeah, so I'm,
It's getting to be a popular thing.
So
We actually got a phone
had a
call
case,
from.
have we had a case, I mean, you've been here the longest, have we had a case like this come before us before?
Not that I know
So
of.
what are they doing down in Berea at the barns, is something similar?
They're having
Exactly.
weddings, yeah,
line dancing,
Yeah.
weddings,
yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna be involved with it there, they get canceled, but anyway. I just I've never seen it, but I don't know, it's out on 25, isn't it?
I've never
25
been,
South.
I don't
I think
know.
it's-
I've been to some of the ones there's some in Danville, I mean, they're popping up all over the place, cause, I mean, the lady I know, she just said everybody that walks in wants to be married in a barn.
Mhm.
And they pay, I mean,
It's
it's,
church just across the
There's
street.
so many jokes that could be made right there, we probably should just move on.
Yeah.
so, it's,
So, I don't know if I have any more questions now. Seem like everybody's aware of it as far as neighbors and so forth. His size is not excessive. excessive. So I think 200 people would actually be quite a few people for a wedding in a barn that size. That's relatively small for the most part, so. But,
You'd be lucky to have 100.
yeah,
I would agree, but I'd rather be upfront and, I
And
don't
on
know.
families, on families,
Yeah.
that's a wedding, you know.
Exactly. Big Catholic families, man,
so. Does anybody have any further questions or comments? Mr. Wells, do you have anything else you wanna add, or?
I don't think so. I've never done this before, so, but
All right, if there's no further questions or comments, there's no one in the audience, I'll open the floor for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the conditional use permit for the property of 757 Kirksville Road to allow the building of your structure as per what's been submitted, and that the hours of operation for your conditional use permit will be from 8 AM till 12 PM, with a maximum of 200 people on the property at any given time.
you
I
said
think,
from,
you mean 12 AM? 12
Excuse
PM
me.
would be noon,
8 AM to 12
Midnight.
PM.
okay,
Yes.
that's,
till 12 AM
Uh,
midnight.
8 AM till 12 AM, yes.
Just wanna make
Okay.
sure we got that right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
till midnight,
okay, thank you.
thank you. With a maximum of 200 people on the property at any given time.
That would be fair.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Call the roll.
Jimmy Rogers,
Yes.
Howard Bowden,
Yes,
George Dillon,
Yes.
Wayne Pinkowski.
Yes.
Just for the record, and so we have the conditions for the permit correct. We have a 200 occupant load maximum. We have hours of 8 AM to midnight. That was correct on
Yes.
your motion, right?
That's correct.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
That's fair.
How
Thank
much
you very
Wells, you
much.
have your conditional use?
Great. Hope y'all come out and enjoy it.
when do you start building?
Soon. Clint
Before the
Lawrence, my
year's over,
builder.
or
Chris, would you put the
What's that?
pad
before
pilot
the
now,
year's
please?
over?
Yes, sir. Actually, we're in
You
the
got
process.
around, we're gonna be late for that barn.
Yeah.
That's
they-
after a while ago.
Abacus staked it out. Clint Warren's my builder. I don't know if y'all know him, but he's getting ready to romp and roll. So,
Well, he'll be in business, first of the year, won't
well, and people don't really. Yeah, I mean it'll be beginning of
Spring,
summer.
maybe?
he? Some,
Yeah, it's. Yeah. So
pretty bad good for man, too.
it is. And the people are so nice. I come from Lexington, and man, it's just totally different.
Yeah, I talked to Susie there and had about tea for a while ago, all the like stuff in there. She was, very great, seemed, all good.
I haven't met her.
Well, she seemed positive about it.
Good. Yeah, word spreads like wildfire down there. That's for sure. So I don't know who told them about a trailer park, but I better stop that. That's the last thing I want.
All right, Marty, you had something else you want to bring up?
Yes, I'd like to
John?
bring up some new business that a gentleman's came in the office at 1050 Pilot Knob Cemetery Road. He has a conditional use permit now for his property for a bed and breakfast. Was issued in 2013. Can you zoom out a little, Chris, please? I think he has 20 plus acres. He is wanting to add some, I guess, one-room cabins, a total of 3, he said, and have a community type or a general bathing facility, not bathrooms in the cabins, but have a centralized bathhouse, basically. So we can only have to clean one bathroom, I guess, or clean one bathhouse. Let's see if we
Where
can
is
get
this
the
at?
property up there. It's 1050. Right there. His house is right there. That's where he has the bed and breakfast. He has a barn right here that he does his biodiesel and taxidermy. He is wanting to put it, there's a knoll right here. And he's wanting to put 3 cabins, kind of a horseshoe shape, and then the bathhouse in the center.
Is that the property that, if you look out his front door, you see the pinnacles? Is it, or is that a different one?
I don't think so, because you would have to go, you know, back out to 421 and then south of Big Hill. I don't know if you,
I know what you're talking about. If you look over the pinnacles, you look down in the valley.
Yeah.
I don't believe that,
Because
I
we
don't
did-
believe you
because
can.
we granted a conditional use permit that one time.
I
That's
don't-
not the guy who has the, guy who runs race cars next to him, is it? You know,
Not that I'm aware of,
There's a garage and,
no, sir. I think that's maybe on 21.
That is on 21.
no, this is what,
I thought it was on.
no, it was
Really,
on
what?
21.
I don't believe you can see
It's
the
been quite a
pinnacles
while
from
back.
there.
Yeah.
But anyhow, he's come in the office, and I guess I was trying to guide him in the right direction on where to come. And I told him we were having a meeting and that I would bring it up, you know.
I guess he, I
Casually.
mean, that would be, he definitely needs to come back for us, but that's almost like running, I guess it's a bed and breakfast. Usually a bed and breakfast is all under one roof, isn't
Right,
it?
attached, and that's
This is
where I
almost
had.
like a camp. You got cabins and a bathhouse and that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
You
what
could
they
operate
is,
like a
right.
camp or something.
He indicated that he's even had, at times, motorcycles pulling little campers behind them.
Yeah.
Have stayed,
I think
have stayed
He's kinda,
backstage.
even, wanna- even if
He's
he
not
expands,
wanting to, he's wanting to expand what you all have already given approval for, and we just wanna make sure that this is the right avenue. We don't have, he's not submitted anything yet, but
what did we give
Just
him
to take
approval
the
for?
pulse.
What did we give him approval for the first time? I mean, I'll be honest with you, I can't even remember. And they been just 2 years ago?
It's called Goose Hill Downs Bed and Breakfast.
I can't remember.
Getaway.
I don't remember that.
I don't either.
I can't think of it either.
I mean, ever since day one, I still can't remember that.
The only one that I remember is the one I
Says
just-
the Madison County Board of Zoning Adjustments has received an application for a conditional use permit to operate a bed and breakfast from your current home. In an effort to provide the board with the most thorough information to better render the decision in this matter, the following information is needed. Floor plan, which he built a brand new house. Written detail of the business plan, a copy of the septic system approval. New business, Mrs. Renee Riley was present to represent her application. Ms. Riley explained to the board they currently have a single-family dwelling that rests upon approximately 26 acres of farmland. They propose to use 2 of the bedrooms and 1 bath for a bed and breakfast usage. The rooms would be made available on weekends only, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for 24-hour stay.
It sits back a little bit.
Yeah, you
going
can't
out
see it from the road.
lane, so it's not-
There you can tell it's well hidden by trees.
wait a minute.
I just wanted to make you aware of it.
think
I
what
feel
we-
like it's
What we would call that, we wouldn't call that a bed and breakfast anymore, then would we?
No, no, you
well,
wouldn't.
here, the bottom line is he's not zoned for what he wants to do. So
Yeah.
he's gonna ask for a conditional use permit to operate this campground, bed and breakfast slash,
What zone would
cabin
allow all that?
community. I'm sorry?
What zone would allow that? If it's not AR or agriculture?
It'd be commercial, so it'd be business.
Oh, okay.
But-
campground has its own,
Yeah.
that
Bring 'em
mobile
on.
home, you know, that's
Bring 'em
a
on.
separate zone,
Yeah,
but he's
that's
not
right.
asking for mobile home.
He needs to just submit his plan, and
This would
Just
be the
like
right
this-
place,
I
wouldn't it?
mean, he's coming to the right place. I'm just trying to think what we would consider that.
Well, the planning commission wouldn't,
well, it could be that we have to do a development plan through them, if you all approve his conditional use permit, but there's no point in him doing a development plan if you all turn him down on the conditional use permit.
He has
So he need,
restricted hours right now, though, only weekend
yeah,
hours.
right. And
Is
I
he
don't know that
talking
he's wanting
about,
to change that.
Okay.
Maybe he is, but that's
I
gonna
mean,
have
with
to be part
cabins,
of
and
his-
he might wanna change that, which also would be
That's
another
gonna be part of his,
consideration.
that's gonna be part of his proposal, and something that you all vote on.
Because we, like, remember last time we talked about that house out there on Simpson Lane? And it was all the way down at the very end of Simpson Lane, and it was zoned commercial, and he had a house on it, and we didn't make him get it replatted, and that wasn't more than, it was less than a year ago, I think we talked about that. So I think this would be the same case, right? We're not gonna make him get it
Resume.
rezoned or anything. We didn't do it on the last one.
Well, this wouldn't be the avenue for that anyway.
No, but
But if he's turning it into a
But if
campground,
you turn him down for his conditional use permit, he always has the option of applying for a zone change,
right, and then he'd get what he wanted anyway, if he did it that way.
maybe.
but if there's a classification for a campground in the current regs, why wouldn't he apply for that rather than come before, for a conditional
I
use?
don't know, know
I
if
don't
there is
think
one.
that he's really asking for the campground. He just, in talking to me, said that he had that happen before. People came in and camped. I guess, you know, are they friends of his? I don't know what he's classifying. He's wanting to rent these cabins out.
So it's a
though.
business at that point.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like renting your, if you've got a shed in your backyard and you wanna rent it out for somebody to sleep in.
Would that, let me ask you this, then, and that probably wouldn't, cause it don't have bathrooms, and that wouldn't be considered 3 additional houses on a lot like that, but I don't guess, since
Yes,
they don't
it
have
doesn't have
bathrooms.
separate
They wouldn't be
sleeping.
separate dwelling units, no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Separate
cause they don't have
sleeping.
bathrooms, they don't even meet that.
We don't have cooking facilities, yeah.
So you would just stay in the cabin, then you have to go up to the house and eat and everything.
And go
Correct.
to the bathhouse to use the bathroom. That's what he's verbally proposed. Again, we don't have anything in writing, we don't have any kind of plan. We just want to make y'all aware of it, that might be something that's coming up,
Okay.
all right?
Sounds legit. So, is there anything else coming up?
That's all we got.
That's all we have.
All right, I'll adjourn the meeting then, we're done.
Thank you, Chris.